Well, thank you, Andreas, for your warm welcome. From our side, we wish you a wonderful good morning to all of you too. We are very happy to be here today to talk about the topic sustainability. But before we go deeper into our topic, I would like to start with a short round of introduction for our webinar. First of all, I would like to give therefore the word to our Managing Director, Daniel Klein.
Yeah, also a warm welcome from my side. My name is Daniel. I'm working with Würth since 24 years, I think. Yeah, 24 years. The last 16 years I've spent with the Würth Elektronik Group PCB business in Niedernhall, and I'm managing director since roughly 12 years. Altogether, my topics, and I'm doing this together with two other colleagues, and my responsibilities in that management teams are the production facilities in Niedernhall and Rot am See, our Asia business, HR, and the purchasing department. So this all together fits wonderful to the topic of the issue of sustainability, and that's the reason why I'm taking care of this. And well, from some personal things, I'm 51 years old. Sorry about that. I'm married, 2 kids, and that's one of the issues why sustainability is also a private issue for me. Leon, how about you?
Well, thank you very much, Daniel. My name is Leon Kaubersch. I'm 25 years old and have been working here as an assistant to the management at Würth Elektronik Circuit Board Technology. We are here in Niedernhall too, since completing my studies in business administration with a focus on service management in October last year, where I was also writing my bachelor thesis about sustainability. I'm here at the Würth Elektronik, but that's all about me. Let's move to our agenda. First of all, we will get to the bottom of why we are focusing on the topic of sustainability in the first place and why sustainability is far more than just a buzzword these days. Then we will clarify what sustainability at Würth Elektronik Circuit Board Technology is all about. And then we will take a look at what has been implemented so far and what will be coming up in the near future. Finally, we would like to invite you personally to a dialogue to answer your questions about sustainability at Würth Elektronik Circuit Board Technology. But let's go to the first question. The topic is sustainability is currently on everyone's lips. Everyone is talking about. It's almost like talking about a mega trend. So I would be very interested to know why everyone should be so concerned with this topic.
Well, why are we focusing on sustainability? As you already mentioned, you called it a mega trend, and I think this is completely true because in a few days we will celebrate, or in a few months actually, we will celebrate the Earth Day, which means that now we have used all the resources we should have used, but this will take place in April, I guess, something about that point, which means that all the rest of the year we're living from our future generations. And I think looking to the daily news makes completely clear why we can't process or go further on like that. If you think about the climate change, that is feelable for all of us. Energy transition and our dependency on the resources on gas or oil. And you see now how fragile our world has become. And that supplies the issues of globalization, the land use in Africa and also in Asia. The extinctions of species, animals, plants, that just fade away, and losing all these experiences for the next generations. Our limited resources, and again, our dependency on some special countries on that resources, and of course the environmental pollution. Yeah, if you think about the oceans, the plastic in there, or if you think on my brother just 2 years ago, before the Corona pandemic, he was in Malaysia, and was there in a deep smoke coming from Indonesia when they burned the jungle. Yeah. And these are issues that at least everybody must think about. What can I do by myself to making this a little bit a better world? And as a company, we have a much bigger impact on that, and that's the reason and our obligation why we should do this.
Okay, and what about Würth Elektronik? Are there additional topics that move us there?
Sure, sure. Let's just name a few. Yeah, the legal and compliance restrictions that are really important to follow. Yeah, and of course this is a must-have. I always say. Yeah, and we have a strong management there. Yeah, since ever, I would say. Yeah, then the information needs of our stakeholders. Yeah, it's not only our owners that need something, but it's also the surrounding we have. Yeah, in most of our the locations where we're situated, we're the biggest employer there. Yeah, and so we, of course, we create and we shape the future of the communities there. Yeah, it is quite important, and of course the recycling of our raw materials that coming in this circularity environment, not wasting them, not dumping them.
Definitely an important topic. These are not just a few topics, all that you named here, which such diversity and above all the complexity. How is the topic of sustainability understood at Würth Elektronik?
Okay, the base, when we started this journey, and we started a long time ago in terms of usage of our raw materials and the environment impact, but the sustainability is much more nowadays and has become much more important. And the base of that are the already famous SDGs of the United Nations. So this is the 17 goals there. This is the baseline, and where we thought about together, we thought about in the management team, but also with our employees, we thought about together, what is our impact? Where can we have an impact in reaching these goals?
And where do you orienting there? Is there something where you would say we as Würth Elektroniks are basically orienting our topic sustainability on a model or yes?
Yeah, because the 17 goals, this is quite a wide range, and to give orientation for us, for our employees, for our stakeholders, we put them into 3 pillars or columns, as a basement for the topic of sustainability. And this is the ecology, this is the economy, and the social issues, where we try to put them there in these columns to make it more feasible for our stakeholders.
What's the goal therefore? If we look at the 3 pillars, is there a goal for Würth Elektroniks where you would say, okay, it's important, we have to look for all of our employees, and is there a possibility to make these topics of ecology, economy, and social issues more internally?
Yeah. So again, we divided these 3 pillars, or we translated them for us in more in words that are more understandable. And so we said, well, one is product and service, our core business, what we have. The other thing is the resource and the environment, and the people and the society. And we try to do our measures, relate our measures to one of these 3 topics to make people feel that they can improve something. to have a purpose on their daily work.
Okay. You mentioned a few minutes ago that ecological sustainability has been part of Würth Elektronik circuit board technology for a very long time. Are there already measurable successes to report there?
Of course. Well, one thing is that as being one of the biggest producers of PCB in Europe, we have an impact on society, but also on politics, of course. And what we do here is that we are part of the community. Yeah, we are part of the local community, as there's a system called Model Hohenlohe. Hohenlohe is the area where Würth Elektronik is, where the headquarters of Würth Elektronik is based, the county, let's put it that way, where companies around us work together in improving and educating environmental issues. And then, of course, we are part of the chambers of commerce. We're part of our trade organizations where we work actively there with them together and bringing out our experience there.
And for the ecological parts, how do you measure them? Are there many examples or some examples that you can show our guests?
Yeah, and in that slide that's now being shown, we show some examples, because the PCB business is a business that, at least in Europe, is under high pressure. So if you see the amount of companies producing PCBs over the last 20 years, they have almost been vanished compared to what has been there. And so who survived? Who survived was the people, the companies were able to fight against that pressure. And one of the issues is, of course, the raw materials, the energy, and getting the savings out there. And this was our main driving force to work on that since the last 20-25 years on that issues. And then, of course, we had some really nice savings there that helped us being compatible. And just to name a few, is the elimination of films, for example. Investing in direct imaging systems helped us to eliminate this process step, for example. Or if you cook on the permanent press pads in our multi-layer pressing department, instead of having these pads only used one, we invested in a much more expensive durable press pads, for example. And we're happy that being part of the Würth group helps, that gave us the financial independence to invest in this kind of improvements.
Okay. Now, the raw materials are only a small part of the big field or topic ecology. Are there some other examples?
Yeah, sure. Energy. Energy is, we're really an energy-intensive business. And if you see that the cost of energy is almost, well, roughly, just below 10% of our total costs. This is an issue, and of course we're doing this since many years, and all the factories are covered with sensors and measuring equipment to find out the sources of energy waste and optimizing that on a daily business.
Definitely. And next to energy, now we have energy, raw materials. The PCB is a really complex product. And since the time I was here, I heard much about the water in our production. What is about the water?
Yeah, wastewater, fresh water is a big issue. Also, I just heard that there were sunny greetings from the United Kingdom, I guess. Here the weather is the different way. So we feel that at least the last 3 months water is not an issue, but of course water is an issue even in Germany. And it's the cost of the wastewater treatment, of course, and the less water we use, the less cost we have. And of course, water is a resource. And we improved very, very much the cleaning technology of our processes. So in the past, when I joined with Elektronik, there was a rinse, how's it called, and there was water put in, and then it went out, of course, after the cleaning process. And what we do now is, for example, that we use the fresh water for the very last cascade of the rinsing, of the cleaning, and then using the water and the most polluted water then is used in the very first cleaning process, for example. And this helped us to save a lot of water and to save a lot of energy costs in better usage of our resources.
Okay. Since I'm here, you told me often about one topic together with sustainability where we won already a prize. Could you talk about this to our guests?
This is a good example, for example, in what we can do. When we invested in a new etching lines a couple of years ago, we built a second part of the etching line, which is roughly about 30 meters long. And above this line is a second line built where we win the copper out of our liquid. And in putting the copper out, we were able to use the etching liquid again, and not even that we saved the etching liquid and not wasting it. We got a better quality because now our etching liquid is always the same in the same way, because we can steer it and control it much better than before, and this helped us to gain better quality results. So it's a win-win situation, but again, you need the money for investments.
Okay, but it sounds like sustainability must not only be the expensive way or the more expensive way in that case, but here at Würth Elektronik is definitely not underestimated what depends sustainability. But according to your definition, sustainability is to be considered as a whole, also just as it is divided into 3 areas by the 3-pillar model. Now we have mainly talked about existing topics. Do you have a little preview for our guests of what steps are planned next at Würth Elektronik?
Of course, and as we already told, it's the way is the goal. So sustainability is a journey, and you never will reach the perfect stadium. You hopefully will ever find new possibilities in improving. And one of these issues is, for example, I talked about the direct imaging. With S-mask, we think about not direct imaging in a subtractive process, but investing in additive processes. For example, that we only put the solder mask on these areas where they're really needed. And with that, we're doing the next step in terms of sustainability. So additive processes will be definitely one of the issues. And I talked about the 1 etching lines. We have 2 etching lines, and at the moment we're investing in our inner layer etching line, which hopefully will come end of the year to Niedernhall factory. And there we will introduce a new process for again, the etching liquid, but the oxidation of the etching liquid will then being done with air, with oxygen. We win out of the environment and not with a special chemistry. So we hopefully, and we're quite confident about that we will get rid of that chemical.
Okay.
For example, then energy. Well, we see the increase of the energy cost over the last decade, and this has accelerated over the last month dramatically. And as I told you, this is one of the most, or the biggest parts of our bill. Working there on the energy costs, it will be main issue again, and will last for a long time. And of course the water. yeah,
Definitely important.
saving water, trying to get rid of all pollution we have in our wastewater is the goal.
Okay, the preview is really based on the production now. How can our customers or our guests today get better informed about sustainability at Würth Elektronik circuit board technology?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see this webinar as the first step in going public, because it was an internal issue. But what we see at the moment is that with the Green Deal of the EU and the thing in the issues in the news, that sustainability has become an issue at our customers as well. And so over the last year, we didn't have a big demand on information there. There were 1 or 2 customers that sometimes ask something.
Okay.
But in the last months, we saw that the need for information is becoming higher and higher. And the first issue will be our relaunch of the website that is coming soon, there where sustainability will be an own site, there. And of course, we are in the last works of our brochure in sustainability that will be available, of course, online for download and in a printed version, where we will report for the very first time to the public what we are going to do, what we did in the past and what we're going to do there. And the aim is getting the transparency in there.
Okay, sounds really good. How is it with the brochure? How you bring the brochure to a sustainable part? So if you do you print them on a recycled paper or?
Of course, it will be a green brochure.
Okay.
It's not only the paper, it's also the colors of the inks we use there. There will be, of course, sustainable and a special printing shop that's doing that, for example.
Okay, and sustainability should be a part, as you said, in the whole company. How do you bring the sustainability to the beginners in the company? How do you bring sustainability in the apprenticeship?
Yeah, well, it's an issue there as well. And what we do there is, because I don't know if this is in all European countries the same, but in Germany we have the so-called dual system in educating young people. When they're not going to university, they have the possibility of doing so-called apprenticeship that lasts roughly in average 3 years.
Okay.
Where they have school, 1 or 2 days a week, and the rest they are within the company and being trained on the job. And we train them also, of course, in the departments where they learn how to purchase or how to sell, but also for projects, for project work that they have the skills in teamwork and working together and working with partners. And one of our favorite projects is the so-called Cyber Gardener. And we see here one of our apprentices, Mr. Papadopoulos, who put a real big effort in that project, how to guard or plant or take care of plants fully automated. In my case, they always struggle, my plants struggle for water and nutrition. And well, this is one of the projects where we did together with the University of Munich that is able for project work in schools, for example. And one of the things is that making what we call MINT jobs, natural science jobs, attractive for female students as well.
Okay.
And making excitement for technology. So to all of us. And this could be one of the projects that we want to push further into the schools and universities, for example, and in gaining interest in this kind of issues.
Sounds really cool to become in touch in such young years with sustainability. as well with the ecological part. As we can see now at the next slide, there is a slogan. Could you talk about the slogan to our guests?
Yeah, of course. We always say we have Würth Electronic Circuit Board Technology, and we make it short and say CBT. Yeah, and well, this is not always understandable, but what we found out together with the marketing department was that CBT could also stay for creating a better tomorrow as a driving force for our employees. Yeah? And well, this will be the slogan for our initiative in sustainability.
Well, that's impressive.
We stand for creating a better tomorrow.
Impressive, really. I'm extremely excited about the content of the brochure tour, and I'm even more glad that the topic of sustainability is being focused so intensively at Würth Elektronik.